Okay, so now we're going to graph the area versus the width. So for you, you'll want to use your table. You want to make sure that you have a complete table here. And the main tip that I have is that you make sure your width is on the x-axis and that your area is on the y-axis, not length. You can honestly just cross out the entire column for length. We're done with it at this point because this is going to be my x value and area is going to be my y value. You'll know you're doing this right if you get a nice upside down arch shape. I'll show you this on this example here. So we had a width of 1 and an area of 79, which is like pretty low down here. A width of 10 gave me an area of 700. And some people like to highlight the width column and the area column to help them remember which ones they're looking at. That might be a good strategy for you. A width of 10 has an area of 700. So I go down here to a width of 10 and I mark an area of 700. A width of 20 would have an area of 1200. So I go width of 20, area of 1200. And a width of 30 would have an area of 1500. And my biggest one is a width of 40 gives me an area of 1600. Now, as your width starts decreasing again, or as your width it keeps increasing, your area is going to start decreasing. So if I switched this and I decided that 50 was now my width, 30 would have to be the length. And that's still going to give me 1500. So I see that this starts coming back down. So a width of 50 gives me an area of 1500. And this is going to be a symmetrical pattern. So a width of 20 is the same as a width of 60. And a width of 10 is the same as a width of 70. So you'll notice that this shape starts being formed of this upside down U, or sort of like an N or an arch shape. And then we want to ask ourselves, should we just leave it as dots or should we connect it? That is going to be answered in part B. So if you think that you should connect it, go ahead and connect it. If you think that you shouldn't connect it, leave it alone. But we'll talk about whether we should connect it or not in the next video.